Hey YouTube, now that I've hit Legend, I'm going to be using Pokemon that I think are either overrated, underrated, and in this video, ones that help me grind ELO throughout the seasons of GBL. So again, this team does not make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to showcase the 3 Pokemon that I've absolutely loved and have absolutely helped me hit Legend in many seasons. So I'll just give you a quick overview now of every single one of them, and then we'll just start the battles. So Swampert's been a beast. Again, I have Sludge Wave, use Earthquake. I have Sludge Wave because I just don't have TMs to TM it away right now. So it's Sludge Wave is 5, but I would use Earthquake. Basically, Machop Hydro Cannon is broken. The ground water typing makes it only weak to grass, and grass is very limited in this meta, right? One of his hardest answers was Trevenant, and they nerfed Trevenant. So it really roams free most of the time. And the Machop Hydro Cannon just in neutral situations is great. I put on the lead because, again, I mentioned in my Legend team video, if you get something on the lead that you're good against and they swap out, you can throw Hydro Cannon and easily keep switch most of the time. Kanto Ninetales is one that I have been using this thing probably since like season 3. Even since season 3, I'm like, this thing's underrated. This thing's underrated. Like, people should be using it a lot more. And then in season like 7, 8, wherever the meta changed there, the meta was Trevenant, Walrein, Registeel. And I'm like, okay, now this thing was great before and it's going to be amazing now. So I used it constantly. It helped me grind so much. People eventually caught on to it. And then the meta unfortunately changed to Lantern and then Rocks like Bastiodon and now Carbink. So unfortunately, it's not as strong anymore. You really need to build around it. Like build support if you're going to use it now. Togedemaru is one that I started with a few seasons ago when Lantern and Octavo came everywhere, because you actually beat both of those Pokemon and you hit for neutral and actually beat if their IVs aren't good, you will wild charge, only 2 wild charges take out a Reggie, so you can win in the 1 shield there. So it is a very strong Pokemon, except for the fact that it gets absolutely walled by ground Pokemon. Galarian Stunfisk, Swampert, those are just like super hard losses, and there's absolutely nothing you can do and you're going to lose the game. But each of these 3 Pokemon I have hit, again, 14 straight Legends. These 3 Pokemon have helped me along the way. So let's just get into the battles. Again, here's one where it's like, the good news is they can only throw Psycho Boost at you, and they will, and Bail. I'm just going to let it go because I'm a non-shadow, so it's only going to do like, yeah, just over 50. If they stay in here, what you're going to see is by the time they get to 10, 2 Hydros take out this essentially. So I can get over there and take that out. Again, if I had a better team build, Swampert is only going to have 2 problems going against things: grass and dragon, because you're resisted there. Togedemaru, again, because electric is resisted by dragon, I don't care because this thing still hits like a truck. Like you are always so surprised with Togedemaru how hard it hits. So took it out, took it out, kept switch. If this comes back in, that's fine because I can get to another wild charge. This wild charge will take out. I banked a Hydro on the Swampert, and Swampert's going to win CMP here, so I am just going to snipe right here. Grab the last shield or take out. So I take it out. It is the Owl, and then again, this is Swampert's just like domination. Just so spammy. They're going to have to throw. I'm going to get to another one, and they don't throw. And then at this point, Fire Spin Weather Ball is more than enough to take out the Owl. But I'm pretty sure I don't do that. I'm pretty sure I go Fire Spin Overheat. Ninetales can actually beat the Owl just going straight Fire Spin Weather Ball, the Shadow version. Some people may ask, is Ember not better? I think at this point for the Shadow version in the Great League, Ember is better. I'm very rarely getting to the Overheat most times. Like, why you use Fire Spin is because it's quicker energy generation, so you go and get to the Overheat. But I think, quite honestly, the Ember Weather Ball damage is more than sufficient in most of these neutral matchups. So again, Swampert is in a decent matchup here, depending on whether they actually throw the Psychic here or not. So went right on CMP. You have to shield because the Psychic probably would take you out. or put you very close. They just go Ice Punch, which is okay because I can still CMP on the next Psychic. They realize that, and then throwing. I will take this out if they don't shield. And if they just go Ice Punch, I can live an Ice Punch from this range. So you can take this in the one shield. So that's why I actually switched to non-Shadow Swampert. I just found that between this, Lantern, it's actually better just to have the non-Shadow Swampert. Ninetales, again, in neutral matchups, Ninetales is very strong. The Fire Spin, this is where, again, Ember's not that much. It's a little shorter on energy generation, but it's not that much shorter. So Ember would be actually better here. Fire Spin does help me here in the fact that I just get to go. Sorry, I'm in the basement and you hear water running in the background. I get that off, and Togedemaru is one of those things where if they are not resisting, if they are not a ground resisting, don't let me, you're in trouble. Because Wild Charges, this thing hits so hard. It is so attack heavy. It's one of those things that if it shields down, you're in huge trouble. So I'm at back-to-back Wild Charges here. And Wild Charge is more than enough to take out even a 70% health Sableye here. So goodbye Sableye. I had back-to-back. Good game there. This one my opponent played so well. They either played really well or I played really bad, or a combo of both. Super good lead. Super good switch. Well, the problem is, I remember this actually matchup now, is because they have Trevenant in the back. And again, this team doesn't work with Trevenant because you're like double weak to Trevenant. So we CMP, so they bait me, and we CMP here. So smart plan on my opponent part. And I live too, which is the dumb part. I could have just farmed down. So that's just like not knowing. I haven't played the Venusaur Ninetales matchup in a while. If I let that go, I could have probably just farmed down and come up with energy. And now they are aware that I'm dry. They come in and farm a ton. I know they try and catch here, which I was aware of. The problem is I don't have Earthquake. Had I had an Earthquake, I probably could have just taken this out and then come out with some energy and Hydro Cannon and then Wild Charge to take that out, but I don't. So they're going to end up farming me down and then have like multiple Shadow Balls essentially. So I try to get to 2 Hydros here. I can't come in Togedemaru because I'm just going to get walled. So I have to take this out, but then they're now at like 7, 8 claws already. So I'll let the first one go, thinking like maybe they'll bait, but they just Shadow Ball me. So good play by my opponent. Togedemaru is super glassy. Ninetales is pretty glassy. The problem is all these Pokemon are somewhat glassy because they're all like level like 20 something. No XLs required. But unfortunately, no XL require also mean you're in big trouble in the Great League because everything, not everything, but a lot of stuff is XL now. So they just go back-to-back Surf. I know I can live 1, and as long as I come out with like 100 energy, which I'm now at, like I went over 100 energy by 2 Thundershocks there, which is dumb, but goodbye there. I'll throw another one here. I'm at 2 Wild Charges here. So again, if you don't resist the Togedemaru, this thing is just going to run wild on you. So here we go. I'm either going to take this out or grab the shield right back, and they let it go, and it is a Frostlass in the back. And again, this is where I just find non-Shadow Swampert so much better, because like an Avalanche would probably take out from this range. To a Shadow between the Powder Snows and the Avalanche, but I live and I get a second move off, like and Hydro Cannon still chips so hard. So I really think that, I mean, I would have killed it anyways because I had a Ninetales on it, but I really think that the non-Shadow version is way better in Great League right now. Lickitung, oh yeah, I remember this was a really close matchup despite being pretty tough for me. I get the Hydro off, and at this point I was gonna like bank a move and try and catch a Power Whip. Unfortunately they held, but still this is where I'm in trouble here. Like they can just counter down, come out with 100 energy, but not without me grabbing a shield. And I banked a move, right? So I'm gonna take this out or grab a shield And then if they shield and farm down, I'm going to win CMP here. So if I win CMP, they're going to have to double shield or just go down with 100 energy. And if I remember, they go down with 100 energy because their Lickitung is at 100 energy and grab both shields right back. Because they're at a power whip right now. They're at like almost 2 power whips. So I shield, it is a body slam bait, and then they go power whip right back after. So I have to shield this. Now I know they're dry. So this is where I just need to farm up as much as I can here. I don't get to, it doesn't take them out because Lickitung is just a little too tanky. And then they give up to a Zoom Roll. So get the Sludge Wave off, which is they're obviously probably not expecting because who runs Sludge Wave? I will now catch, the good news is Ice Beam, Play Rough, Resisted. So I'm coming in here to catch whatever one Ice Beam because it was right on 5. So that is great. The problem is I should have overheated. I should have overheated. This was such a dumb play. Overheat. Well, okay, they were still at a shield. The problem is I wanted to. Can I play the batter? Should I just fired spin down? Or I should have mud-shot it down there. What? This is really bad. Poorly played. I had multiple win conditions here that I think I just blew multiple times because they get to move here and take me out. I think I either like overheat there or like try and get more fast moves through or something like that. Coming to Togedemaru here, they immediately meet me with a Obstagoon. If it's a cross chop, I mean, I'm in trouble anyways, but hopefully I can grab a shield here. Unfortunately, I cannot because we are in the same time, so I cannot get to 2 wild charges. I can only get to the 1. So I gotta let the timer come up. The good news is, again, as much as Sludge is coming in handy here, don't use Sludge Wave. Use Earthquake. But what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up CMPing on this move because I win that. And then they're going to come in with, or actually I'm probably just going to come straight Ninetales after. Yeah, come straight Ninetales, force out what's in the back. This is, again, a winning matchup. And this is where Fire Spin is better because it's a winning matchup with the energy generation. They think, I don't know if they're wrong in the moment, knowing that I have a Swampert in the back, but they think it does not matter. Just don't throw a move, farm down. Just do fast move damage and then they can aerial ace me and then they'll be able to take out my Swampert, which I think in theory is the right play because I have Hydro Cannon and Earthquake, right? Unfortunately for them, I do not. I have Sludge Wave. So they go down. They eventually like, oh crap, I just lost the game. Actually, probably 2 Hydros may have taken that out from that range too. So I don't think I needed a Sludge there. I think 2 Hydros may have taken it out. And I had to throw a Hydro anyways, but anyways, I take it. So Ninetales was always one of those Pokemon that was just so good. They're like, obviously if Swampert Lantern, you're on it, you're screwed. But like in just neutral situations, it was very, very, very strong. It always like, you could win straight up against the Owl. You can win straight up against Sableye. So it was so good for me for so long. It was on all my teams because, again, Trevenant, Registeel, Walrein were everywhere. Unfortunately, because of the meta shifted, they are not now. Although Ace Sandslash is everywhere now. The problem is with Ace Sandslash, there's also like, there's now Carbink, which is everywhere, which I've seen a few of them. There is Carbink, Bastiodon, Swampert, Quagsire, Lanturns are everywhere too. So like there's just a lot of Pokemon, unfortunately, that cause Ninetales problems right now. Dragons, obviously, you have nothing to throw at it either. I was expecting to. I should have thrown on 1, but like, I should have thrown on 1. I don't know why I let them get an extra move through because I'm an idiot. But at this point, I'm like, okay, they're at 2 Rock Slides for sure. I'm gonna force them to dump their energy here because they have to throw because they're not gonna be able to mudshot me down. So then I'm like, okay, come in here, super resisted, which sucks, but boost your wild charge, which is great in neutral situations, and get a bunch of energy, and then just go wild. And I think, if I remember, that is exactly what I do here. Registeel, like I said, you beat Registeel just going double wild charge when you're not boosted. You definitely beat it boosted as well. So there's one wild charge. As you saw, it did like 65-70%. So here comes the second one. Take that out. They come back in trying to get a move off here. They do not. And now they come Sableye, and I'm at the Felstinger to take this out. So Togedemaru, again, in neutral situations, it's very, very, very tricky to use though. Like Swampert, very, very easy to use. This is where Earthquake would be way better. Swampert, very, very easy to use. Like I said, always in neutral situations. Just stay in neutral situations, have your cannon, everything. Bad situations, get out. If they switch like that, I always like chipping there because then I can usually keep switch advantage. Ninetales was very good in neutral situations. Problem is, obviously, you can get only fire moves. You can get hard walled by dragons. You can get hard walled by water. So that's your sort of weakness here, right? I am going to overheat here, but like it does like 50%. Overheat still hurts, but again, resisted. And they're just going to come out with like a ton of energy. But, you know, you chip. And I can get to a weather ball here. So they have to kind of throw, or else I'm going to put them in like mud shot range. So it kind of forces them to throw here. So it's not bad. And Togedemaru is the same sort of thing. So like Swampert's going to grab a shield. And then Togedemaru with shield advantage in neutral situations is just going to wipe up because it only takes 5 Thunder Shocks to get to the Wild Charge. And the Wild Charge is going to one-shot almost anything. So I'm going to throw it right before they like read on CMP because this will take them out. So they're going to have to shield or let it go. Just throw it because this is going to take them out. And then I have Swampert on them to quite easily win. So, but again, Togedemaru is one of those Pokemon where it's like, people always ask, like, how do you use this thing? It's very tricky to use. It is very tricky to use. You need to wild charge almost anything. I'm doing Felstinger to boost it in like situations where, sorry, there are dragon chairs above me here. You're using Felstingers to just like boost your attack in situations where you can just get like so far ahead on energy that you're in such a good matchup. That's when I would boost it. Otherwise, you're just going straight wild charge, but you get super walled. You're weak to fighting, and you get super walled by ground Pokemon and dragon, realistically. But even most dragons, you can get to 2 wild. You're resisting their dragon moves most of the time if they have fast move dragon move. And 2 wild charges are going to take them out, resisted or not. So that is what makes it very strong. So these are 3 Pokemon that I've grinded a ton of ELO with over all the seasons I've been playing. Swampert is still a beast. Togedemaru, Ninetales, again, not as much of a beast because of the meta shift to Lantern and Rock types. Togedemaru's, I loved it, but it's getting tougher now because they just gave everything Drill Run, right? They just gave everything Drill Run, which makes it very difficult to win all these Drill Runs. I just actually played a matchup against that I didn't showcase here. It was against a Dugong, and I let a Drill Run go just to see, and it one-shotted me, right? So you're very, very glassy. So any Drill Run from everything that got it now, a Sandslash, Dugong, anything that has Drill Run, like Dunsparce, they're all going to one-shot you. So you need to just be aware and use shields. Anyways, those are the Pokemon that have helped me dominate over the season. So that's it. Next, I'm going to use 3 what I think are underrated Pokemon for Great League. 3 Pokemon that you probably should be seeing more of, but you don't. So I will showcase that probably next. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.